A warrior is not born. He is forged. Forged in fire, forged in loss, forged in silence, forged in the brutal discipline of the ancient world. Ancient men did not seek strength, they became strength because the world gave them no alternative. Life was war, survival was a lesson, pain was a teacher, and weakness was a death sentence. This is how warriors thought. This is how warriors lived. This is how warriors became unbreakable. Today, their bodies have vanished, their kingdoms have turned to dust, but their mindset, the architecture of their power, has survived. What you are about to hear is not mythology, it is not entertainment, it is a blueprint. The ancient blueprint of the warrior mind. Chapter 1. The Call to Hardship, from 3:30 to 10. Every warrior's story begins with hardship, not comfort, not safety, not praise, hardship. Ancient men understood a truth modern men have forgotten. Comfort kills potential. Comfort softens the spirit. Comfort breeds weakness. But hardship awakens a man. Hardship strips away illusions. It forces a man to confront who he really is. It reveals strength within him he never knew existed. A warrior does not ask for an easier world. He asks for the strength to master the world he has. Because he knows the path of the warrior begins the moment life stops protecting you. And for ancient men, life never protected them. That was their advantage. Chapter 2. The Ritual of Discipline, from 10 to 16. Ancient warriors grew strong because their lives were built on discipline. Not motivation, not excitement, not inspiration. Discipline. Their days were structured by necessity. Their bodies were shaped by the tasks of survival. Their minds were sharpened by repetition. They trained until their muscles trembled. They practiced until their technique became instinct. They drilled until their weaknesses were eliminated. A modern man trains to feel strong. An ancient warrior trained so he wouldn't die. This difference created a different species of men. Men who understood discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is liberation. It frees a man from the chaos of his emotions. It frees a man from the weight of his excuses. It frees a man from the limits of his mind. Discipline is the foundation upon which every warrior is built. Without discipline, strength is temporary. With discipline, strength becomes destiny. Chapter 3. The Art of Control, from 16 to 22. The greatest warriors were not the strongest. They were not the largest. They were not the most brutal. They were the most controlled. Control was their secret weapon. Control of breath, control of fear, control of impulse, control of mind. In battle, a man who cannot control himself cannot control anything. Ancient warriors trained their minds to remain calm in the midst of chaos. They learned to detach from panic. They learned to think in darkness. They learned to see clearly while others drowned in emotion. A warrior who cannot control his mind dies by it. A warrior who can becomes unstoppable. Chapter 4. The Shadow Trial. From 22 to 28. Every warrior faces an enemy far more dangerous than any blade, any beast, or any battlefield: himself. In ancient cultures, the journey into the shadow, the dark side of the self, was a sacred trial. Men were expected to confront their fear, their rage, their jealousy, their guilt, their weakness, their shame, their doubt, their failures. Not hide from them, not run from them, not numb them. Confront them. Because a man who does not face his shadow is ruled by it. But a man who looks into the darkness and refuses to break, that man becomes dangerous. This is where warriors were reborn, not in battle, but in shadow. Chapter 5. Brotherhood of Arms. From 28 to 34. No warrior stands alone. Even the strongest ancient fighters belonged to a brotherhood. Spartans fought as a unit. Samurai protected their clan. Vikings trusted their shieldmates. Knights rode with their order. Strength was multiplied by loyalty, honor, and shared purpose. Modern men misunderstand brotherhood. They confuse it with friendship. They confuse it with convenience. They confuse it with social comfort. Ancient brotherhood was different. It was forged in blood, forged in danger, forged in mutual respect. A warrior's brothers were the men who sharpened him, the men who disciplined him, the men who held him accountable, the men who demanded his best. If you want to grow, surround yourself with men who are not intimidated by your strength, but expect it.
Strength without honor is destruction. Honor was the invisible spine that held ancient warriors upright. Honor gave their strength meaning. It shaped their choices. It disciplined their desires. It prevented their power from turning into tyranny. Honor was not about reputation. It was not about being liked. It was not about being admired. Honor was about self-respect. A warrior's code was simple. Do not break your word. Do not betray your brothers. Do not surrender your values. Do not kneel to fear. Do not become owned by desire. Do not use strength to harm the innocent. This code made warriors dangerous, not because they were reckless, but because they were principled. The world fears a man who cannot be bought. Chapter 7. The War with Pain. Pain was not an enemy. Pain was a mentor. Ancient men understood pain in a way modern men cannot. Pain built their bodies. Pain sharpened their senses. Pain toughened their spirit. Pain taught them discipline. Pain became a familiar companion, one they learned to respect, not fear. Warriors did not run from pain. They invited it. They used it. They grew through it. They understood a truth every man must learn. Pain does not break you. Pain reveals you. Chapter 8. The Silent Mind. Warriors cultivated silence, not just around them, but within them. The silent mind was their weapon. Silence allowed clarity. Silence allowed focus. Silence allowed strategy. Silence allowed intuition. Noise is the enemy of strength. Chaos is the enemy of discipline. Distraction is the enemy of power. Ancient warriors built their minds to remain still, even in the loudest storms. A silent mind is a powerful mind. Chapter 9. The Death of Fear. Fear ruled ordinary men, but warriors learned that fear is just anticipation of pain. When you master pain, you master fear. Fear dissolves in the presence of preparation. Fear dies in the presence of discipline. Fear collapses in the presence of purpose. A warrior does not eliminate fear. He overrides it. This is the moment a man becomes dangerous. Chapter 10. The Unbreakable One. The final stage of the warrior mind is not strength. It is not courage. It is not discipline. It is not victory. It is sovereignty. The unbreakable warrior is the man who owns himself. His mind belongs to him. His emotions belong to him. His decisions belong to him. His strength belongs to him. His destiny belongs to him. No man controls him. No fear rules him. No pain weakens him. No failure defines him. This is the warrior mind, unbreakable, unshakable, unstoppable.